Ready for 2 hours of updates, interviews, and just a lot of banter. I'm Rich Estrella, and of course, the gang will be with me tonight. John Conte, Bob Gibson, Dan DeForest, Randy Rosenblum. Everybody be checking in with some information from the games around tonight. It's really great to be back. And of course, last night we had the game of the week. It was Western and Huntington Beach. And joining us now, sitting on the set next to me, is, of course, the head coach over at Western High School, Dan Davidson. Dan, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a while. I used to watch this show back in the day when it was with Time Warner, and here you are now.
Had no idea I'd end up on the show, so here we are. Thanks last night. Great coverage with you guys. Super excited. All the interviews, all the things you guys did leading up to the week. Sharing the game with Coach Brown at Huntington Beach, a class act at all times. Very proud of him. Proud of Huntington Beach. I thought they performed very well. We weren't up for the task on it, and we were a little bit short on the scoreboard, but as you've seen the crowd, the way the enthusiasm was, your guys' first game of the year, it's just what a blessing to be a part of it.
Well, you guys had a pretty good crowd. You had good energy at that ball game, Coach. And as I mentioned last night, Thursday night games, a lot of teams playing on Thursdays. There's a shortage of fields right now. And it's not just that, it's officials. There's a shortage of officials going as well. So a lot of games will be going on Thursday nights as usual. And, Coach, it was a tough one for you last night. It was interesting how, you guys won your first game. It was 26-20, and Huntington Beach lost 28-20, so very close, offensive, defensively, as far as giving up points, getting points. But last night, man, it's just one of those ones you're going to have every now and then. And it's good to have it now, but let's not forget, you're playing a school probably in the second or third best division in the country right now. You got to take the Trinity League, South Coast League, and then you go to the Sunset League. It's definitely where all the big talent is. Those are some of the biggest districts.
Yeah, and we're honored to be able to stay with Huntington Beach and play against them, and those type of things come around for a school like Western every so often. So to be able to have that opportunity to be on the stage with them was great. We're excited to build for it, and really comes down to execution. Huntington Beach came out and they executed. We'd love to say that our game plan really worked and did some stuff to stop them, but man, they ran the ball on big plays. Zone read caused us some problems, running back and the quarterback both. And then he really checked down the ball and got it out of his hands real quick, and we never could really establish pressure on him, and they kept us off balance. And as Bob Gibson did a great job of pointing out, we hadn't been shut out since 2015, so I really want to thank him for bringing that stat up to me.
Nice job, Bob. Where's Bob at?
Nothing like getting that right when you lose.
Insulting the guests the first day? Really?
It was a lot of fun being able to remember that we hadn't been shut out for about 7 years, so I just want to thank him personally.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love him. Well, Coach, we said as we started the game out, we mentioned it was a David versus Goliath kind of thing. Your school's pretty moderate as far as enrollment goes, about 1,900. And then you go to Huntington Beach, man, and, it's over 3,000 kids. It's a big population, so you get a few more athletes to pick from, but you got to play these games, Coach, and you know this. You got to play these games early on if you want to establish a winning program. You got to play the teams that are bigger, faster, stronger if you want to see what you have to do in order to be a champion. Huntington Beach, doesn't quite have that program yet, but look at the division they're in, man. They got Corona Del Mar. Just for beginners and openers, you could just start with Corona Del Mar and end there, because we all know how good that program's been over the last decade.
And we know what Los Al has going right now.
Oh, my.
So
Los Al's next,
Edison's always tough. I think Newport Harbor's really turned it around. And so Huntington Beach and like
And they allowed Anissa Legal to score 4 touchdowns.
Right.
If you allow a team to score 4 touchdowns in the final period, when you have a 20-0 lead or thereabouts, you shouldn't lose the game. You really shouldn't be losing the game like that.
Right.
And I think I could just see Coach Brown on Monday going after the team. Humbled everybody. When you lose like that, everybody has to shut up and listen, and let's get with it now.
And
good loss for him. That team's going to be really good, and they're going to have to be just to survive in the sunset. They're going to have to be very, very good.
Yeah, and we are, as you know, only 11 guys are on the field. So, and to get to our 40, we dressed 6 freshmen. So let's make sure that we get that out there real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
But really, you only play 11 guys. That's something what we've done in our success over the last few years. We usually do it with about 15 guys or so. But a lot of our guys play both ways, and we like that. Kids like to play that way, and we're still growing. Yeah, and we're still growing into it.
Heck yeah.
A lot of times, people now are going one-way guys. Our guys like being two-way guys. They like fighting. They like that grit, and sometimes, like you said, we just didn't play very well. And
it happens.
Part of the reason why you don't play very well is that your opponent outplayed you, and they out-schemed you, and they were ready to go, and they beat us in all aspects.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the thing that was glaring to me was the fact that Perez did have a lot of time to throw this week. You guys had 5 sacks the week before, but I think you only had maybe 1 or 2 this last week. And Perez just had more than 3 seconds to toss that ball.
And he does a really good job of staying alive in the pocket. And as like you said, he rolled out many times. If we did bring pressure, he felt the pressure coming off an edge. And so what we were trying to do with him was keep it in. So we tried to come pressure off on the edge. And he did such a great job of recognizing where it was coming from and rolling to those ways and keeping plays alive. And that's a credit to his skill set. And his receivers to keep fighting and getting open. Checked down several times. The receivers stayed onto the routes. And it's really hard to cover that long, and allowed him to really keep some big plays going.
Now, on your side of the ball, it looked like they had the game plan down to keep Drew Faulkner in check.
Yeah.
Because they were using the sideline as another defender. They were keep pushing him out during the play. They always had their hands on him, so they did a good job. I mean, as well as you can do within the rules to keep him at bay.
Yeah, they did a good job a couple different times bracketing him, where they even had 3 defenders on him. We had a linebacker, and then he'd come up and press with a corner and had a safety over the top of him and take him away. Michael Sutton-Shy on our other side is a great receiver that we would like a lot. He got banged up the week before in the end of the 3rd quarter. And so he wasn't on how he normally is, where we felt we could have really attacked him. He was on kind of a pitch count. And so, like I said, I agree with you. I think they did a good job, stopping Drew. And Drew did ended up with 7 catches, but they were hard catches.
They were tough catches.
And if he did make a play, he paid for it.
Now, also, something we noticed again, and you got to point out these things because that's how you get better. You got to humble your team a little bit, but you had a lot of drop balls early. You did. You had a lot of drop balls early.
Well, Drew dropped one. Jamani Smith and Ty interception ended up coming off of their hands. 2 of their picks ended up being off our guys' hands that they should have made catches.
How many tip balls were there last night? There was so many tip balls at one point.
Our timing was just off, and part of that was the pressure that they have. I really think their defensive line was really strong, especially through the interior where they came and got into our quarterback's face and made him uncomfortable. And so the ball was getting tipped because the timing wasn't there to get into the routes. And so we lost the game at the line of scrimmage. And really on both sides, our quarterback was pressured all night, and their quarterback looked like a 7-on-7 game. And
it did.
That's not something you want to hang your hat on.
Yeah, I got to love it. Coach, let's talk about your league now because you're going to be getting there pretty soon. But in your league right now, we talked, at least you and I have talked about, I told you, McNally is up there right now. They're always doing well. I believe that's Lobendah's team.
Yep.
They do a really good job up there. And then the rest of your league, Anaheim, Savannah, Santa Ana Valley, Century, that's the rest of your league. But Right now, these preseason games, these are the games that are going to help you get over that. It looks like right now you and Magnolia are headed to that direction right now.
Yeah, I
Two
think
solid
I
teams.
think Coach Boer at Anaheim's going to get those guys going. I really like his team. I like how they play. They play really good, hard-nosed football. They always have a good, solid run game. They get the ball out. Like you said, Magnolia's going to be tough. Coach came over from John Glenn. We had played John Glenn the last few years.
Yep.
He plays hard-nosed football, runs the game, a lot of double tight sets, and handing that ball off, and you got to tackle him and be able to beat him. So that's definitely going to be a tough opponent, and that's who we end up with the year. So we're really going to hang our hat on that Bell game for us, playing Anaheim. We've been playing the Bell game now for 50-some years, and honored to be able to play Anaheim and Coach Boer and get after those guys and see if we can continue on our league title, going for our 4th title in a row.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all nets out, especially coming out of COVID. We don't know exactly, how many teams are going to come out full strength, how they're going to be after sitting out a year. I know quite a few schools are having issues with numbers right now, and it's just because maybe people have found other things to do. Maybe they're afraid of what's going on out there in the climate, the virus, and all this other stuff. It's hard to pin it down, but after being off, literally, let's face it, you guys only had 5 games last year, and that was in March. It wasn't even traditional season where it was just a bad situation last year for everybody. But you don't know what's going to happen, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm looking at all this right now. Don't have the scores from today. Don't know how everybody else did yet. But I just know Magnolia is tough.
And that's why we wanted to play Chino, who's a good, hard-nosed running team, and then come and play Huntington Beach. Coach Brown does a great job, and Coach Feldman at Cypress. And then we have West Chode over at Esperanza. We want to come in and play those teams that are going to really challenge us up front and get us stronger up front. Because just like last night, what happened, I think we lost the game on the line play. Yep. Their quarterback was not pressured. We weren't getting enough pressure, so there's some things we got to fix on the D-line for our side. And on the other side, offensively, we have to be able to a way to protect our quarterback and give him some time. And Huntington Beach put so much pressure on us. We were really struggling inside of what's called our 50 series, where a 5-step drop. We could not do any of our 50 series at all because we were getting so much pressure on them. And they did a really good job trying to stop our quarterback from booting out to the right. They put an emphasis. The defensive ends really came out hard and took us out of some of the things we wanted to do. And so as a coach, you tip your hat, you get back into the drawing board, you give your guys, and we had a beautiful day in the weight room and running and conditioning and things. And we're excited to come out to practice tomorrow morning and see the improvements we make.
Don't forget the lesson, but it's time to move on from that game.
Yes.
It already is. Hey, John, we have Brown on the line? Coach Brown?
Yep.
All right, we go to him?
Yep.
All right, let's see if we got Coach Brown here. Nope.
I'm running. He's on the screen.
Oh, okay, well, let's pick him up. There he is. Hey, Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, I got to get my IFB in. All right, well, this is what you do when you go live. Anyways, Coach, we were just talking about the game last night. First of all, congratulations to you guys. It seemed whatever you did wrong the week before, you righted it. We thought for sure Western was going to come back and score 42 points on you in the fourth quarter because the week before, it's kind of what happened. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. But
Not at all.
It seems like, whatever was wrong, you fixed it. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And appreciate you guys having us on here. This is a great experience. You do a great job. So thank you for having us on here.
All right, Coach. Dan, you can't hear what he's saying either, huh? Hang on, Coach.
I can't.
All right, now I got you. All
You
right,
got me?
Coach. So again, we were saying congratulations, getting everything fixed up, righting all the wrongs. But good night last night. Your team looked totally different than the week before. I mean, you guys looked relaxed, but you had a few more weapons too.
We did. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, we did. We got some guys back healthy. We had one kid that was sick, another kid that had a foot injury for the past month or so. Hideo was he makes our offense go. So we're a little bit different in that aspect, and we knew that, the reason that we love playing Western is Coach Davidson does a great job. They're physical, they play hard, they get the ball out quick. I mean, their timing stuff is unbelievable, so we knew it was going to be a tough test for us, and, we just were able to execute. And our goal all week was to keep our foot on the gas, and not let up and not let down and not have those moments where we kind of let down.
So, Coach, we were talking earlier about how these games early on are very important, and even especially so for you because, man, you got to be in one of the 2 or 3 toughest leagues in the Southern section, and that says a lot.
The Sunset League we talk about it all the time. There's definitely no down weeks. We can't let up at any time. We got to bring our best every single week, or it could turn into